Hey guys. Hindi ko alam gagawin. Kamusta kayo? Kamusta kayo? Kamusta kayo? Kamusta coronavirus quarantine? Kamusta coronavirus quarantine? Kamusta coronavirus quarantine? Kamusta coronavirus quarantine? Paikot-ikot. Itong China na to, kalain mo, tinago-tago pa nila na may outbreak na pala sila. Eh kung maaga pa lang nila inamin, di sana ano na tayo, naagapan na kagad, hindi na kumalat ng ganito. Kumuha akong salamin. Hindi ko makita. Hello. From Flashback Movies. Hello, Pogi. Hi din po sa inyo. Kahit sinungaling ka. Ito, tignan natin. Yung mga news. Kung paano tinago ng China yung coronavirus.
For weeks now in Beijing, there hasn't been any point in getting up early. The only reason to do so is to check the latest number of new infections right after waking up.
Have you seen the figures? There are almost 45,000 confirmed cases of the illness.
I came to work in China as a journalist in 2007 and got married to Lulu from Beijing. We have one son and live in a housing complex in the north of the city. I travel around China a lot making reports, but now I've been grounded.
Only Tibet is still okay.
Cordons have been erected around cities, but also around entire provinces, as well as city districts and even every housing complex. Outside my neighborhood block, uniformed men check everyone's comings and goings. The neighborhood committees are important cogs in the Communist Party's security apparatus, there to monitor residents' political and social behavior. Now they're functioning as health police. Temperature checks, enforced quarantines upon leaving the city, mandatory face masks. Beijing's residents have bit by bit disappeared from the face of the city, their movements curtailed by the regime and their own fear. The only report that I can make is one about Standstill, a quarantine diary. The days seem uneventful, but they raise many questions about China's future. There's one good thing about the situation. Now that our family is together 24/7, we're more united than ever. I've even persuaded my son to help me. We have to fetch water. The tap water is undrinkable, so water containers are delivered on most days. But since our district was cordoned off, we have to collect them ourselves. My son is lucky because the barricade isn't very high. Since the outbreak of the virus, Lulu and I have been wearing his and hers fashion accessories, face masks. Mine black, hers white. Lulu is unhappy she can no longer wear lipstick. But since the quarantine started, the wearing of face masks has been strongly advised. Basically, if you leave the apartment without one, you'll be stopped. The remaining entry point to our district has become a checkpoint. You need a special pass to get in and out, and it's checked every time. Permission can be refused at any time. You might think it's 5 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon, but in fact, it's Friday afternoon. Normally, people would be going shopping now, and Beijing would look like this. It's nice to have a bit more space, but we're feeling a bit lonely. And what makes things worse is getting our temperature measured every 300 meters. But is it really such a good idea to be pressing these devices onto dozens of different people's wrists? The mall is almost empty too. Usually, we have to wait half an hour to get a coffee, but people don't feel like going out. At least there are a few young guys playing basketball, bringing a bit of life to the place. But I'm surprised they aren't wearing masks. At the moment, there's still disinfectant to clean our hands. But for how much longer? At the supermarket entrance, another checkpoint. At least there's a bit more life here. Since being in quarantine, cooking has become our main activity. The sight of these supermarket shelves is almost comforting, but only almost. We've all seen the images of empty shelves in the city of Wuhan on social media.
Araw-araw at lalo na sa panahon ng sakit. Protection starts with all of us. Naniniwala ang Green Cross at Sunrocks that together we are stronger.
The situation at the epicenter of the outbreak, where thousands are sick, is ever present. It's feeding a sense of collective anxiety. That's even though our situation is nothing like the one in Wuhan. In Beijing, there are only 100 official coronavirus cases. The capital is hermetically sealed off, nonetheless. In the subway, I'm meeting Ms. Lee, my interpreter. Before I even say hello, I already know her skin temperature, 32.1 degrees Celsius. All subway entrances are now fitted with infrared cameras. If your temperature tops 37.3 degrees, you're isolated behind a barricade and sent to the hospital. And of course, there's also someone checking for face masks in the subway. Not that there's much to check. Normally, the trains look like this. The real problem is the shortage of masks. Together with Ms. Lee, I'm going to investigate the problem.
No, we're closed. Try there.
Here it says masks sold out. Hello, do you still have masks?
Only electric ones.
Can I look?
He only has a mask for 40 euros, which, of course, he offers us straight off.
Will it definitely guard against the virus?
Which virus do you mean?
The coronavirus, of course.
You have to change all the standard masks every 2 days to be on the safe side.
Every 2 days?
Yes, to ensure that you're protected against the virus. That isn't necessary with this electrical mask. It can be used for 2 months. No problem. 2 months.
What about the standard masks like yours? Could I have one like that?
No, I don't have any more. You're too late. They're sold out for today.
Should I try again tomorrow?
Yes, that's normally how it works.
It was New Year's Eve 2019 when health officials in China admitted they had a problem.
Health authorities have activated their most serious response level after an outbreak of a new type of viral pneumonia
In central China, the rapidly growing number of people were developing a dry cough and fever before getting pneumonia. And for some, it turned fatal. Doctors have named the disease COVID-19 or coronavirus disease 2019, indicating that a type of virus is causing the illness. When they tried to trace its origin, they found a likely source: this food market in Wuhan. Out of the first 41 patients, 27 had been here. It wasn't conclusive evidence, but Chinese officials quickly shut down the market. They had seen this happen before at a place just like this.
The health officials are trying to get a grip on an alarming outbreak of SARS.
The virus originated in mainland China and spread across the country. The disease had been festering for months in southern China.
In 2002, a coronavirus had emerged at a very similar market in southern China. It eventually reached 29 countries and killed nearly 800 people. Now, 18 years later, this coronavirus is in at least 71 countries and has already killed over 3,100 people. So what do these markets have to do with the coronavirus outbreak? And why is it happening in China?
So, ito, isa sa mga documentaries ng coronavirus.
A lot of the viruses that make us sick actually originated in animals.
Yung mga hayop na
Some of the
mga
viruses that cause the flu
inchik
come
na
from
yan.
birds and pigs. HIV/AIDS comes from chimpanzees. The deadly Ebola virus likely originates in bats. And in the case of the 2019 coronavirus, there's some evidence it went from a bat to a pangolin before infecting a human. While viruses are very good at jumping between species, it's rare for a deadly one to make this journey all the way to humans. That's because it would need all these hosts to encounter each other at some point. That's where the Wuhan market comes in. It's a wet market. A kind of place where live animals are slaughtered and sold for consumption.
It was not surprise at all, and I think that it was not surprise to many scientists.
Peter Lee is a professor and expert on China's animal trade.
The cages stacked one over another. Animals at the bottom are often soaked with all kinds of liquid animal excrement, pus, blood, or whatever the liquid they're receiving from the animals above.
That's exactly how a virus can jump from one animal to another. If that animal then comes in contact with or is consumed by a human, the virus could potentially infect them. And if the virus then spreads to other humans, it causes an outbreak. Wet markets are scattered all over the world, but the ones in China are particularly well known because they offer a wide variety of animals, including wildlife. This is a sample menu reportedly from the market in Wuhan. These animals are from all over the world, and each one has the potential to carry its own viruses to the market. The reason all these animals are in the same market is because of a decision China's government made decades ago. Back in the 1970s, China was falling apart. Famine had killed more than 36 million people, and the communist regime, which controlled all food production, was failing to feed its more than 900 million people. In 1978, on the verge of collapse, the regime gave up this control and allowed private farming. While large companies increasingly dominated the production of popular foods like pork and poultry, some smaller farmers turned to catching and raising wild animals as a way to sustain themselves.
At the very beginning, it was mostly peasant household backyard operation of turtles, for example. That's how wildlife farming started to get off the ground.
And since it started to feed and sustain people, the Chinese government backed it.
So it was imperative for the government to encourage people to make a living through whatever productive activities they can find themselves in. You can lift yourself out of poverty. No matter what you are doing, that's okay.
But then in 1988, the government made a decision that changed the shape of wildlife trade in China. They enacted the Wildlife Protection Law, which designated the animals as resources owned by the state and protected people in the utilization of wildlife resources.
Movies.
That's one of the most devastating problems of the law, because if you designate the wildlife as a natural resource, that means it is something you can use for human benefits.
The law also encouraged the domestication and breeding of
Summer
wildlife.
na, init.
And with that, an industry was born.
Buti yan,
Small farms
patayin
turned
yung
into
virus.
industrial-sized operations. For example, this bear farm started with just 3 and eventually grew to more than 1,000 bears. Bigger populations meant greater chances that a sick animal could spread disease.
Ayan, dito
Farmers
sa
are also raising a wide variety of animals.
documentaryong
More
pinapanood
viruses on the
natin,
farms. Nonetheless,
galing
these animals were
sa
funneled into
wildlife
wet markets
trade
for profit.
sa China dahil
While this legal wildlife farming industry started booming, it
yung mga
simultaneously
illegal
provided cover for the
wildlife,
illegal wildlife industry.
isa
Endangered
doon
animals like tigers,
sa
rhinoceroses, and
mga
penguins
animals doon sa Wuhan
by the early
ang
2000s.
nagdala ng
These markets
virus.
were teeming with wild animals when the inevitable happened.
At doon na nagsimula, doon na kumalat.
The worldwide death
hospital up again today.
China has reported more than 1,400 cases of infection nationwide.
It is what health officials have feared all along. In 2003, the SARS outbreak was traced to a wet market here in southern China.
Hubei,
Scientists found traces
Hubei
of the virus in
province.
farmed civet cats. Chinese officials quickly shut down the markets and banned wildlife farming. But just a few months after the outbreak, the Chinese government declared 54 species of wildlife animals, including civet cats, legal to farm again. By 2004, the wildlife farming industry was worth an estimated 100 billion yuan, and it exerted significant influence over the Chinese government.
Wildlife farming industry was tiny in China's gigantic GDP,
Hello
but the
sa
industry
viewer.
has enormous lobbying
Ano
capability.
nakikita
Because of this
pangalan ng
influence,
viewer
the
dito?
Chinese government has allowed these markets to grow over the years. In 2016, for example, the government sanctioned the farming of some endangered species like tigers and pangolins. By 2018, the wildlife industry
Ano
had grown
ibig
to
sabihin ng
148 billion
top
yuan
chat?
and had developed clever marketing tactics to keep the markets around.
The industry has been promoting these wildlife animals as tonic products, as bodybuilding, as sex enhancing, and of course as disease fighting. None of the claims can hold water.
Yet these products became popular with an influential portion of China's population.
The majority of the people in China do not eat wildlife animals. Those people who consume these wildlife animals are the rich and the powerful, a small minority.
It's this minority that the Chinese government chose to favor over the safety of the rest of its population.
These parochial commercial interests of small number wildlife eaters are
Miss
hijacking
Alma
China's
Romero,
national interests.
happy
Soon
Sunday
after the
din po sa
coronavirus
inyo.
outbreak, the Chinese government shut down thousands of wet markets and temporarily banned wildlife trade again. Organizations around the world have been urging China to make the ban permanent. Chinese social media, in particular, has been flooded with petitions to ban it for good this time. In response, China is reportedly amending the wildlife protection
Sure,
law
tambay
that
lang.
encouraged
Turuan mo
wildlife
ko.
farming
Hindi ako
decades ago.
marunong.
But unless these actions lead to a permanent ban on wildlife farming, outbreaks like this one are bound to happen again. For a bunch more information about China's wet markets, viruses, and wildlife, we have an episode on our Netflix show called The Next Pandemic Explained. It talks about why a coronavirus could spark the next pandemic and what the world's experts are doing to stop it. That's on our
Tingnan itong
Netflix
phone na-
show Explained. Check it out.
Shout out kay Miss Alma Romero. Meron siyang bagong video exploring a beautiful part of Bougainvillea Park. Sa Singapore po ba ito? Yan. Iwan ako ng like sa iyong video. Taga Singapore ka pala, ma'am? Malulubat na tong laptop ko. Ayusin ko lang ha. Ayusin ko lang yung charger. Miss Alfa Romeo, tamsak na raw, sabi ni Chav Fam. Ang init ngayon, guys. Mainit ba sa mga lugar nyo? Shout out sa lahat ng naka-quarantine sa kanilang mga bahay. Shout out din sa lahat ng may trabaho na hindi pumapasok dahil quarantine. Lalo na sa mga no work, no pay. Kapit lang tayo. Pagkasya natin pera natin. Kay Flashback Clips, thumbs up. Thank you. Pasensya na mga tropa. Hindi ako marunong nito. First time. Sa tatlong nakatambay, nakatulog na ba kayo? Apat tumambay. Paano ba makita yung mga viewers dito? Anong pipindutin? Hindi ko alam pipindutin. Kay Mr. Hunter Ren. Oh, yan. Very good music. Visit his channel. Listen to his music while watching the videos. One of my good friends. Thank you. You got great content. Salamat. And I appreciate you sharing with us. Oh, thanks. You're welcome. It's my first time. I don't know how to do this. Okay, maybe next time I'm gonna play some music. I only know keyboards or piano. I'm not that good, just average. Oh, not Rick, Rock. And that's true. And you're right. You make it happen. Oh, yeah. If you're like me, emotionless, no one's gonna watch you. You're right. Great tips from a concert guy. True. I think they call it charisma. Guys, check out his channel, Hunter Ren Music and Vlogs. I watch his videos every now and then, and he really plays good music. Just gonna get a water break. Keep hydrated, guys. The temperature outside is like 38. I hope the coronavirus will die and we can all go back to our normal lives. We have 5 viewers now. Thank you for checking me out. I'm sorry if I have nothing to say. I'm not prepared. It's my first time. Maybe I'll have something good on my second live stream. Really? Have you uploaded it yet? I'm going to check it out.
During this tough time around the world, I'd like to dedicate this iconic Tim McGraw song.
This is
to all
Hunter
the loved
Ren,
ones that have
guys.
lost to the virus. They will be in our hearts forever. Rest assured in heaven. God
Okay,
bless
I'm gonna look for
everyone
it, bro.
on this beautiful earth. Love you all very much. Enjoy the song. All your tears have reached the sea. Part of you will live in me.
Check out his YouTube channel,
Deep
Hunter
inside
Ren
my
Music and
heart.
Vlogs.
Days keep coming without fail. New wind is gonna find your sail. That's where journey starts. You'll find a better love, strong as it ever was. Deep as the river runs, warm as the morning sun. Please
Wow.
remember me.
Nice.
Just like the waves down by the shore. Gonna keep on coming back for more. 'Cause we don't ever wanna stop. Out in this brave new world we see. Oh, the valleys and the peaks. And I can see you on the top. You'll find a better love.
No problem, bro.
Strong as it ever was. Deep as the river runs. Warm as the morning sun. Please remember me. Remember me when you're out walking. When snow falls outside the door. Late at night when you're not sleeping. And the moonlight falls across your floor.
Check out his channel,
I
guys.
can
Hunter Ren.
As a river runs, oh, as the morning sun, please remember me. Please remember me.
You didn't show it, bro. Anyway, yeah, it looks like you got a little emotional, and that's good. It means you really love your craft. Shout out to Nightcore Stan. Guys, my battery is running a little bit low, and I have to end this live stream. So thank you again for 500 subscribers. Thanks for Hunter Ren for dropping by my live stream. Check him out. And guys, on my second live stream, I promise I'll try to improve. So thank you guys. See you again. All right.